There it is. First customer. How you doing? I'm gonna go get some coffee over at my favorite coffee shop and a Pop-Tart. Homemade Pop-Tarts, they're delicious. Up, you're gone. Let's see if you'll pop. Maybe you'll pop back up here at the stop sign. So I got these new over sunglasses, like safety glasses. Got them from, because my other glasses, these are cocoons, but these are for fishing. And, you know, they're not really safety glasses. The lenses fall out of them. But these are safety glasses with you know, and block sun. And I tell you what, I had the freaking worst back pain since what, Thursday? And it was just nasty, dude. The worst back pain ever. I gotta clean my front yard up. I'm gonna go bid this house. I'm gonna clean my yard, and then I'm gonna go clean my mom's. But the cops are out. Here are the cops. Nope, there's a person. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Who's that? Hold on. Okay. This dude is definitely flamboyant. So hey, what do you think? Did you see? Well, he's now Ye. Did you see Ye and his wife at the Grammys? She was like wearing pantyhose over a naked body. Did y'all see that? I mean, not that people object to that. It's just like, dude, leave nothing to the imagination. Who made your dress? No one, right? She just went and put a pantyhose over her body. Could show everything, man. That's flamboyant. Why do you say I'm flamboyant? George? Which way did it go, George? Oh, yeah, that one dude that wore oh, was that Jaden Smith? He wore a freaking birdhouse. These guys are dumbasses, dude. They need to be regulated. They need to be, yeah. Hi, Alden. How you doing? Is it Alden? Aiden. How you doing, Aiden? Are you Aiden, my son's friend? Are you an adult now? Just like my son? Did you grow up across the street from us? Did you grow up across the street from us on, what street was that? Brambletree. Oh, okay. Because I remember, if I remember correctly, Aiden used to attend my lives all the time. This kid. But so how y'all doing, man? So did y'all see the y'all saw the Grammys with the birdhouse? And then Kanye, the artist formerly known as Kanye, who is now Ye, his wife attended the Grammys in a fur coat, and underneath the fur coat, she had a naked body covered in pantyhose. Dude, that's like egotistical. Okay? I mean, that's like, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, I mean, it kind of borders on being disgusting. I mean, people like looking at it. I mean, no doubt. But if you're like a married couple, I mean, talk about narcissistic, egotistical. I mean, it's just it's just like, hey, everyone, look at me. I mean, I guess they're in that business, and they're just kind of geared towards that. But it's utterly ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't watch them either. I just saw all the pictures and everything posted all over Facebook. But yeah. So what do y'all think about the tariffs? Anyone want to comment on the tariffs? So here's the deal with the tariffs. Apart from nothing that has to do with the IRS. Okay? Man, this road's bumpy, I'm sorry. Apart from having to do anything with the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, the tariffs are designed to do away with me paying taxes, right? Oh, no, I'm 56. Close. 56. I'm in good shape for a 56-year-old, though. Other than my back went out like last Thursday. I had a bad back spasm. I never get that, but so the tariffs are to do away with collecting taxes in the United States and gearing me towards like buying like maybe a TV. This is how it's kind of good explanation that I heard. So I might pay $60 more a year or more for a TV, but I'm not having to pay taxes, so I'll be able to afford it. And it downsizes government. Government gets to stay out of my business. I can afford $60 more on a TV when I'm not paying that weekly, and in excess of that. Hopefully she's still open. Oh, almost. Oh, she's still open. Still open. 2 more minutes. Oh my God, I almost lost. Almost.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? I barely made it. You close at 11, right?
I did.
All right.
Yeah, you did barely make it.
All right. I'll have my Pop-Tart. You got those?
Yes, sir.
And then I'll have my Cafe Orale.
Oh yeah. He says cafe orale. Okay.
Who are you talking to?
No.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm laughing at you. He said, oh yeah, like you're like, why are you talking to different texts? Right. With cream, 16 ounce iced, your total 10.28. I see you're back at work.
Maybe I'm doing a bid. I don't have that many jobs.
I haven't seen you in your work here in a while.
Well, I've actually been sleeping till like noon. It's,
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Take your time off. Enjoy it. Because when you're busy, you're busy.
yeah, I don't mind being busy.
Just that in just a moment.
So the tariffs, if they eliminate my income tax, then I don't mind paying $60, $70 more for a TV that's made in the United States. Because it's gonna, what happens at that factory that's making these TVs, right? They're gonna have more roach coaches, fast food places. There's gonna be communities that spur up all around it, and overall it's gonna be better for the economy. And then plus the $60 that I spent paying extra for that TV, I'm not paying extra for the taxes. So that's my spiel on it. Yep. So, did y'all see the video of that bike that I got? Here, give me one of these. I need one of these. That bike that someone sent me that they wanted me to buy. Nice bike, man. $4,000 for that thing, man. It's a Moni bike, M-O-N-E. Go look at the video on that thing, man. It's a nice bike. It's beautiful, beautiful made bike. Check it out. My Braden? What do you mean, my Braden? Yeah. Well, I didn't either, man. Those let's see. There we go. That's better.
All right, Paul.
How's the baby? I can't remember her name.
It's a weird name, right? Calliope.
Calliope.
She's a crybaby.
She's
a crybaby. Out of two, sorry.
She's a crybaby, more so than the other one.
Oh yeah, she's a baby for sure. She gives me a hard time. She don't want no one to hold her but me. She sees me, she starts freaking out.
She's close to a year, right?
No, she's only 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a baby still, like an itty bitty. She barely rolled over, like.
Oh okay.
Yeah, she's just a little guy.
How's your sign out there? Is it fine?
I haven't even looked at it. I always just cut right here, but yeah, I think everything's dead right now. I'll let you know when we're ready to cut it in.
That's cool.
Well done. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go give a bid. I got another customer.
See ya.
Later.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. These things are delicious, man. Mmm. So, in about 4 weeks, I always remember it because it was a day that changed my life. So in about 4 weeks from now, 30 years ago, I entered into rehab. And it was the best thing that I could have ever done. So, yeah, I was down and out. So I'm kind of eagerly awaiting for that. That's 3 decades that I've been without beer and marijuana and cocaine. 30 years. I was in bad shape. I got a month more to wait. So it's kind of, I kind of reminisce back on it, and I know I've worked on my spiritual self, and I've worked on my relationship with Jesus and stuff like that. I'm not perfect by no means, but as far as like maturity, I don't do things perfect, but as far as maturity and emotional maturity, I'm one of those people that does get like super upset, and there's some other journeys that I looked into too, like unraveling the. I try to unravel all of those, and there's a phrase in the Bible. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And that part about fearing evil culminates a lie, right? A lie to comfort me, right? So I found out that I didn't need these lies anymore, and that my reliance strictly needed to be with a God that was bigger than me, right? So, and I never saw like the Christian God as a God bigger than me. I thought he only existed in the pages of the Bible and other spiritual documents, right? But and people ask me, he goes, well, if you can't see him, and I go, well, I do see him. I mean, look at the accident you're saying that took place that created all the stuff around us, like these buildings and stuff. You're saying that there was this like accident that was driven by these scientific explanations and it produced this like this thinking organism that could build buildings and send people out into space and all that other stuff. And to think that God didn't have anything to do with that. Well, rest assured, I think he did, because that's a lot of processes that you're saying that had to take place at the right time in a certain set of circumstances to produce this. Even if you took billions of years. And if there's one fault in that process, then none of the other processes could have taken place to produce us and produce all the life in this world. So, coming to believe that God could take care of your problems when you can't, right? It's actually pretty simple, because just look at this. You can just walk out in the front and look. And you go like, man, it's hard to believe that a single cell organism budded into a fully functional adult male and adult female, produced a civilization that eventually started building these mass buildings, and how each of these people empower someone else from other communities through like shipping and commerce and all that other stuff. Man invented that. invented the interaction that you're saying started out as essentially an accident. So, the sludge that assimilated the first proteins, to me, is just as big of a fairy tale that you claim that my book, Bound in Leather, is. Okay? Really? There is no fully evolved explanation, and that's what that if you're an atheist, that's what your process needs to explain. And if there's one falter in it, it doesn't work. How you doing? So you can't really have that and produce all of this if one thing goes wrong, which you're claiming was a series of accidents that originated it. And then, well, now the latest thing about the age of the universe is that it has no age because the universe itself is eternal. That it is the beginning and the end. I'd be more inclined to buy that than the big boom. But anyhow, that was one of the lies that I had to do away with. That God is big enough to create me, so therefore he's big enough to take care of my problem. And that's what happened to me 30 years ago. Probably starting now. And my dad kind of started me on this journey, although I was someone that we never really got along. I never really got along with my parents like as per se my brothers and sisters do. I'm the youngest, and I was always thought as the renegade or something of the family. I was never really the renegade. Just someone who was never allowed to turn over a new leaf. So that's what I see. Some may differ. But on the flip side, if you are an atheist and you're like saying, well, why did your God allow the world to be so messed up? And I ask you, and why did God create the devil? So he's responsible for the evil in the world. Well, so if you have something good, can you have good without bad? Right? No, you can't. Right? If you just say, oh, this is good, and you're like, oh yeah? Wow. What do we have to compare it to? And that's the nature of God. I've got to compare it to some sort of diversity. So God does what he wants is basically my answer to that question. Why does God allow? Well, he did it because he did it because that's what he wants. He can do what he wants because he's God. That's the answer to that question. And, and also like people like bring up to me about this guy in the Old Testament that wanted to give his daughters to the guys that wanted to go after the, Sodom and Gomorrah, I think is what it was. And they wanted to go after these angels. And he goes, well, this guy, he wanted to give his daughters up. And, that's not very spiritual. Well, God already had a plan for Sodom and Gomorrah. And it was that prophet who was given his daughters who thought that was a solution. And the story that we can learn from that is that you sometimes, or me, sometimes we fall outside the will of God and we try to enact a non-spiritual solution that we think will be sufficient, and therefore severing our relationship with God's will, right? And even and the prophet in the Old Testament weren't immune to that, right? They weren't. They sinned. I mean, same with the apostles. You know, the denier, Peter the denier, right? Wasn't it Peter? Supposedly he's responsible. I mean, look at Paul. God, he killed Jews before he was renamed. So, or no, he killed Christians. I'm sorry. Before he was renamed Paul. He was Saul. He was the Christian killer. So, he was trying to do a solution. Okay, let me get over here. He was trying to do a solution that was outside the will of God because he was under the old law and didn't know anything about the new law. And what was he on Damascus, the road to Damascus, when Jesus appeared to him and blinded him, and then he got his sight back? So he only thought, because when you look at Old Testament, after the flood, the protocol was to, and some people say it's genocide, but it was to really wipe out the Nephilim, like Gath, Goliath of Gath. David went and slew Goliath with a simple stone because that's what God wanted him to do. The Gath was a byproduct of witchcraft, which is against God, and the witchcraft was given to them by a rebellious angel that God had created, which was headed by Lucifer, right? And so these angels, they created this, they created the genealogy of these giants, and God wanted them to be done away with. And I still think that we have that genealogy and that we're not pure. But anyhow, so I'm gonna have to, I can't remember where I gotta go to some. I'm gonna have to end this live, but I'm gonna pull over here. So yeah, God just does things the way he does things because he's God. And that's it. And as soon as I acknowledge that, I mean, and he explains what he did, because really it was to counter the sin in our lives. He just didn't want to snap it away. He wanted us to he wanted us to take care, be responsible for taking care of our own sin, because God loves us enough where he wants our love back. That's why. That's one of the key reasons. God loves us, and he loves us so much, he wants our love back. Right? So, anyhow. So here's Judson Road, and I got to go do this bid here. But I hope y'all learned a little bit, and that's what started happening to me like 30 years ago, and it's probably about this time that it started, maybe a little before. I think it was like September, this past September, 30 years ago, that it started happening. Because, you know, it says the wind blows where it may, and so will the Son of Man. And what is that in John chapter 3? The Spirit blows where it may. And so you start to feel the wind. When I did back September 30 years ago,